So the fellowship actually took me to so many places in the United States of America. It made me meet some of people that I never thought I would be meeting. It was kind of an exposure to the American culture. I met so many people, and some of the places that I went to were like the DreamWorks animation. I never dreamt of going to that place and seeing them producing the Shrek movie. I went to also Boeing and saw them building like 3 planes at that time. Went to Microsoft, to IBM, lots and lots of places, and met hundreds of people actually during my fellowship. I also met a president of the United States, George Bush the father, and really I would never have done that if it wasn't through the Eisenhower Fellowship. The nice thing about the fellowship is that it's not a one-size-fits-all. Everyone tailor makes his or her own program. So it fits you, you do the things that you like, you go to places that you want to go to, and that's why it's so enriching. And it doesn't have to be in your field. So if you're in the field of politics, the people you meet don't have to be in the politics field. Some of the people who were with us went to see football players, for example, and that was really so nice. Well, the fellowship actually made me see a different culture, which is the American culture. Of course, we see it through their movies, through the news, we hear about it and we see them. I went to the States more than once before the fellowship, but every time I went there, I actually went and visited a family member. So I used to see America through the eyes of Arabs or my family. That time was different. I met so many Americans and I started seeing how they think of things, and that was kind of different for me. I came out of that experience like I can now see what they see. Maybe I don't approve it sometimes, but at least I understand where is it coming from. And that was really something for me. It's a great exposure for the culture, for the people, seeing different views and perspectives over different things. And there are so many things I can tell you about what did I get out of the fellowship, but if I am to say one thing, I came out of it, and when I went, I never thought that this is the one thing I'd be talking about in such interview. It would be that learning about social responsibility and naming it as a word, as a term, social responsibility. I never thought of it that way. Here in Jordan and in the Arab world, we are famous for doing stuff for others, but we do it and we call it charity. When the term social responsibility, like I got introduced to that term, I thought of it, this is different. This is not something that you do as an extra or as a charity work. If you do it, fine. If you don't do it, if you do it, this is an extra thing you do. When you call it social responsibility, it's different. It's something that you are responsible for and you have to do it. It's not an extra that you do. You have to do something like this. And when I came back home, I was also exposed to an experience or something in Microsoft. They talked about teaching elderly at that time. And I was fascinated by the idea. Came back home, thought of it, wanted to do something in that field, but I couldn't. I went there in 2005. Until recently, like a year and a half, when iPads came to to the market, I thought this is the chance. So I started an initiative in Jordan. It's called We Are Online Too. In this initiative, we're teaching senior citizens, ages 65 up to 85, how to use iPads and how to connect online and how to stay in touch with their kids, grandchildren, how to stay in touch with the latest news, how not to feel as aliens when they are sitting with us and we're talking about, I received an email, did you see on YouTube, have you seen online, did you read so and so. So till now we have 48 graduates, and they are all ages between 65 to 85. Like the last time we've had a training session, they were all between 75 and 85, and the results are amazing. Yani when you see them, when I see them now, you wouldn't believe how happy they are. And this is all, of course, out of social responsibility, and we're doing it for free, and I'm having lots of volunteers working with me. And I would say this is one thing I came out with from this fellowship, that I benefited my community after coming back.